Yeah, sure I do. That's the best part of the job, learning about people's lives.
I'm a paranormal investigator.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out Alone in the Dark, and this is the 2005 version, which is based off of a video game. But this movie was directed by Uwe Boll and stars Christian Slater, Tara Reid, and Stephen Dorff, among others, of course. So what is the story of Alone in the Dark? Well, it follows this paranormal investigator who was orphaned as a child and was part of this orphanage that had an experiment done to it. And so all of the children have like this darkness creature inside. And now that it is 40 years later, those darkness creatures are taking over people's bodies. Of course, only those orphans, except, our main heroes. His apparently died inside of him or something. And so he teams up with Tara Reid to, investigate these different kind of trinkets that may or may not open up a darkness realm for these darkness creatures to go into, or come out of, I should say. Along the way, they also team up with this bureau agency to try to take on the darkness monsters. What will happen though? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's discuss this movie. Well, with this one, it is based off of a video game with the same name, and I believe Leo has actually reviewed the second one, but not the first one, so I think I should be good with this. Now, I have actually played one of the games. I played I think it was 2004 version of Alone in the Dark. It has kind of this storyline with these two people investigating this house. And so this movie has like nothing to do with that. I don't even think it has anything to do with the original ones. And it's just kind of that video game craze of the early 2000s where it's all about name recognition more than anything else. And this one certainly pulls off of the name recognition. I can't believe any of this really kind of relates to the game, having played the game myself even, or at least, the newest version of it. And yeah, it's just kind of like a strange interpretation of this video game, one that is very far away from what I played. And I gotta say, I kind of enjoyed it, to tell you the truth. I kind of did enjoy this one. It is with Christian Slater there as kind of this Constantine-esque paranormal investigator, which I enjoyed Constantine and all of that different type of stuff. So seeing that character kind of reimagined worked for me. I would say the Tara Reid's character, maybe not so much, but of course you need, an archaeologist in there. And she just plays herself, to tell you the truth. She's just Tara Reid throughout the whole thing. She even has, pastel colors, and she even has a convertible bug, which is very much a 2005 girly car, and so she kind of doesn't fit into the whole Alone in the Dark aesthetic, but at the same time, it's fine. But the bureau and kind of that side of the story, they're certainly not in the video games, and I kind of enjoyed what they were doing. These darkness monsters do turn invisible at some points, and so the bureau will come in and just like start shooting the air and just like wasting all of their bullets. And like they have special bullets too, like special ones that inhibit the camouflage or whatever. And so they're just firing into random air. It's just like so weird and so fun. It's really very schlocky when it comes down to it, I would say, and just kind of like, action schlock from the, mid 2000s, early 2000s. You've probably seen it in, other video game adaptations of the era where it's just about, doing whatever. So of course there were other movies in a similar vein coming out at the time. So this one was probably, swept under the rug, and it doesn't have a very high IMDb score either. So not a lot of people were enjoying it, but for me, for liking schlock and B movies, it can certainly be a fun ride. Also, I enjoyed the darkness monsters. Now, they are all just CGI, but, it's fine for what it is. And the CGI of 2005, it works. It's very serviceable, I would say. The monsters also turn visible, so they're not always on screen. And even then, they kind of cheap it out sometimes, as the monsters are inside these orphans, so sometimes they just take over the people's body and it's just, random person coming to attack our main characters. But I would say it all works together. It doesn't, have any particular lore or anything to it. They do kind of explain it, but at the same time, it's just assertions. It's not like an explanation or at least a detailed explanation of what's going on. And so it works. It works for kind of all coming together to be a 2005 schlocky movie. Certainly with this one, the story, I would say, is fast-paced enough where you are getting engaged quite quickly, and then everything that happens fast enough that it moves you to the next part to keep on watching. So the monsters, the story, certainly work together to be kind of a fun movie when it comes down to it. Other than that, it's very like 2005. I know it came out in that year, but it's very kind of mid 2000s. They have bullet time in this one, and only one time too, like really early in the movie. They have bullet time, which is very strange. The guy's got to like shoot through an ice block, so he has to shoot one and then shoot again so that the ice breaks with the first bullet. And that's very, of the times, I would say. And then the music as well. Sometimes they have, kind of that electric dance house music, kind of like Sandstorm or something. So it's very much of the time, and certainly speaks to, people who might have a nostalgic part in their heart for that, era of movies, or at least that kind of era plus that genre of movies, right? And it, comes together to be cool. Like even the main character, he's got this cool jacket and everything. So I would say it is very serviceable for what it is. And I think that brings me to what doesn't work with this movie. Well, ultimately, it's just kind of schlock, so you gotta expect quite a few things that are not particularly good with this one. It has quite a low IMDb score at like 2.4 or something. And with this one, there's a lot of dumb logic, to tell you the truth. They're like running into places they know the bad guys are or the monsters are. They're like not even trying to protect themselves from the monsters at some points. And the Bureau is just crazy. Like they just jump in and just start firing guns willy-nilly. And it's just terribly illogical, like a lot of the stuff that they do. There's even one point where the main character like steals this badge or whatever and gets into this laboratory, but then he has like a 20-minute conversation with the person there, and the person's like giving him stuff, and it's like, what is going on? Like this is very unrealistic or illogical, I should say. So the logic involved in this movie is quite poor. So turn off your brain if you're looking to enjoy it. Also, all of the characters are very one-dimensional and very stock characters. I think I mentioned again, Tara Reid is just Tara Reid. Christian Slater, I guess he's very kind of one-dimensional as well. And then all of the Bureau guys are really just cardboard cutouts, if anything. And so all of the characters are very stock. None of them change even. And what else can I say? With this one, it's called Alone in the Dark, but very rarely are they actually alone. And even rare is it being dark. Like a lot of it is well shot and well lit, so it's all very well to see. So it's not really in the dark. And that could certainly be an issue if you are looking to be alone in the dark with this one. As for a recommendation, well, if you're into, 2000s schlocky action films, then this one is fine to press play on. Certainly with all the illogical stuff that goes on, it's good for a laugh here or there. So, if you're feeling up to it, press play on this one. As for a rating, well, I'm going to give it the 4.5 because it was almost average. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.